So Mark meets Nicola Mendelsohn, President of the IPA and Partner at Karmarama.
Hello.
Cool. I'm glad I didn't make a mistake in that one. Can you give us a quick summary of your career to date?
I can. Very simple. Third year at university, not knowing what to do. Had a mate who was a year older than me that got a job at JWT. Never heard of such a thing, that you could do a job.
What university?
Was I at Leeds University.
And what course?
English and drama.
Okay.
Joint honours, which was great fun. And so yeah, was very, very lucky to have been chosen to go to BBH as a graduate trainee there. Stayed there for 11 years.
How did you write them a letter, or how did you?
No, I did the bog standard graduate application forms, but I think because I didn't really understand the industry at that point, I applied everywhere, and I guess I had a little bit of chutzpah that I hadn't read very much about it, so probably stood out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I got in there, and then 12 years at BBH. Then 5
so you started at what position did you start? What was your job title when you first started?
Bottom of the rung of everything, graduate trainee.
Okay.
And then I went to become an account manager, an account director, and then I went into new business at that point because I love new business. I love the thrill. So I became new business director. I was put on the board at that point, business development director, a bigger title, and then I left.
I'm assuming you still weren't naive at this point in terms of what the industry stood for and what.
I worked it out.
You worked it out by then, yeah. And then, after that, where did you go?
And then I went to Grey as part of a change management team and stayed there 4 years. And then I came to Karmarama, and I'm the luckiest girl ever.
Cool. Did you ever, from what you've just said, I'm guessing you didn't actually kind of visualise your career turning out as it had done?
No, I never thought like that. I never thought about how would the long term be. I'm much more short term. Was I enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm having fun and doing interesting stuff.
And when you're in like an account management role and then an account director role and kind of climbing up the ladder, did you have that in mind that you always wanted to get to the top of what you could possibly achieve, or did you never really have a career plan?
Honestly, didn't really have a career plan. Really? Yeah, it just happened as it went along.
Okay, cool. If you could work for any agency apart from Karmarama in the world, who do you most respect? Who would it be?
I think there's two agencies. Am I allowed to take two?
Yeah,
why not? The two agencies that interest me, because I think they're trying to... Well, there's actually more, actually. Oh, I'm going to need loads of fingers here.
Just fire the names of me.
Okay, so the ones that I'm interested and excited about, I want to learn more from, are Sapient Nitro, Droga 5, Anomaly. Always keep an eye on my old mates at BBH, because they're just challenging how the industry should be, looking for new business models, and, you know, I think that's an interesting thing to look at, so they excite me.
Which superpower would you like to have, and why?
Superpower, the ability to control time.
Okay, good answer. If you could turn back time, what would you do differently?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Mistakes that I've made, I've learned from them, and I feel blessed and lucky to be in the position that I'm in.
And for you, what's the best thing about agency life?
No 2 days are ever the same. You never know what's around the corner. You have to become experts on industries that you didn't even know existed. You're at the forefront of new things. It just keeps you fresh, keeps you interested.
What did your parents do?
My parents are kosher caterers and party planners.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. What, weddings and bar mitzvahs?
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
And I worked in their business for about 10, 15... Well, from the age of 13, I worked in the business till I was 22. So even when I was still at BBH, I used to work on a Sunday.
And then your parents actually realised you had a proper job and a serious job that you could do without working with them.
Well, then they've got a serious job too.
Yeah, I suppose. Who inspires you?
My mum and my dad and my grandparents did. People that love what they do and have passion and are excited. That's what I love. I feed off that energy.
And is there anyone in this industry in particular, either in this country or kind of internationally, that inspires you?
Yeah, lots of people. Who inspires me the most? Stevie Spring, I love her. I think she's an amazing energy, brilliant visionary. Love spending time with her. I think Scylla Snowball's terrific. The Wacker women, all the Wacker women, I think are awesome. So yeah, I'm lucky to know and have confidence with a lot of them.
Cool. What does someone have to do to creatively impress you and stand out?
I think they have to be true to themselves. I think believe in something, to be passionate about something. Just think a little bit differently. not to get rid of all the things that made them interesting in the first place. So it's really interesting as you go further up your career that people drop all those extracurricular activities, and actually they're the things that often make you quite interesting. So hold on to those, because that difference will make you more interesting and make the work more interesting as well.
So you entered the industry on a BBH graduate scheme. Have you installed that opportunity at the agencies that you've moved on since, including here?
Yeah, all the both Grey and here we've got graduate schemes. Not quite as formal as the BBH model, but actually in part I think that's because maybe the industry's moved so much that I don't know if you could afford to have 6 months of pure training that I was lucky enough to have, and with the way in which things are changing. But one of the things that I've also tried to do in the IPA role is to look at completely new ways of doing training and bringing new people into the industry. So partnerships with Google, apprenticeships with business, so that we find different ways of bringing people in as opposed to a formal, disciplined graduate training scheme.
Who's the most creative person you've ever had the pleasure of working with?
Dave, my partner, no question.
Okay.
It's brilliant.
In the current economic climate of things not looking too good, have you ever had the threat of redundancy in your career before?
For me personally, you mean, or
Yeah.
had to do it? No, not for me personally, but I have had to have been involved because of that with other people.
And what advice would you give people who might be slightly concerned about this year in particular, or the future of this industry?
This future of this industry in this country is very rosy and very strong. I mean, all the stats are pointing in the right direction. We've got more graduates coming into the industry, spend in the industry is up. Clients are continuing to spend even despite this terrible economic outlook. And, research that's just been done has said that there's going to be 20,000 more jobs in this industry in the next 4 to 5 years. So lots of opportunity. And if, unfortunately, you are made redundant in the position that you are at the moment, then that doesn't matter, because all the cliches, and they sound like cliches, but it's true. You will look back on that period and think it was a good thing that happened. I will come out of that stronger. And you always learn more from mistakes than you do from things that go well. No question of that.
In the last recession, though, particularly in this sector, we saw a lot of agencies forget about juniors because they were so busy and were such skeletal staff that they had to. There was an expectation that people had to hit the ground running, whether you were a freelancer, whether you were a new person, and not a lot of juniors were given the opportunity to get experience on a placement or full-time basis. And obviously that has a knock-on effect to the point where now midweights, there's almost like there is a gap in the market midweights. So how do you think we can kind of overcome that this time around?
I think we've learnt our lessons. I mean, I look around, we've just called out to IPA member agencies to see if I can find 100 companies that will take on placements and secondments. And I'm up to 88 and counting.
Are you?
Yeah, and they've
Good.
said yes. I think we learnt the lessons. And actually government's making it easier to take on people and to find different ways and be more creative how we pay people in terms of government subsidising us on apprenticeships, etc. So I think we learnt those lessons.
Cool. What's been your favourite account to work on?
Oh, that's really hard. It's always the next one.
Good answer, safe answer. And what's your favourite advertising campaign of all time?
Probably the one that's most dear to me is the Levi's campaign of BBH from the 90s, because it's really the reason I'm in the industry and it's the reason that I chose BBH. And again, as I said to you earlier, I was a bit naive about the industry back then and was woefully seduced by the amazing Nick Cayman ads and all that magical stuff they did with video and film and music at that time. So that campaign got me into the industry, got me into BBH, and so it will always have a special place in my heart.
So the guy with his top off in the laundrette.
Yeah, that makes me sound less good, doesn't it? But yeah.
Fair enough. What do you do outside of work? What do you do in your free time?
Oh, what do I do? Lots of things. I've got 4 kids, so that makes life very busy. A lot is spent around them. I love entertaining. I love cooking. I love having people around. Judaism is a massive part of our lives, so we always seem to be celebrating either a Sabbath or a festival or a various family event. That's important. Still love the theatre. Just loving London and just making sure that you live life to the full in every which way you can.
And what's it like to be a woman at the top of the industry?
That's a very funny question. What's it like? I don't know. What's it like to be a bloke? It's great. It's absolutely great. I'm enjoying everything that I do.
Has it always been throughout your career? Has it always been plain sailing? Have you always been kind of treated equally in all of the positions that you've been in, including the position you're at now? Or has it been quite difficult? It's been a battle to kind of prove yourself and Have you been treated differently?
I think is it a battle? I think being a woman in business, you're aware that we're currently not equal. I think in advertising, only 12% of women are in senior positions, and that's not because there are not another 40% of women that are not good enough. There just seems to be that we still have glass ceilings that we need to smash. We only got the vote 100 years ago, so we need to be pushing it on, and we need to be making sure. I think there's an onus on women that are, more senior positions to help women in different positions, to bring them up and encourage them that you can do things. And that you can be successful both as a wife or a mother, and also in business as well. So, long way to go yet, but working on it. And
what advice would you give people, I guess, women that have kind of gone off on maternity leave and had a family and are looking to get back into the industry? Certainly kind of recruiting, helping those people get back into work is particularly difficult because the flexibility they need is different. So what advice would you give to people that are looking to come back to work after a maternity period?
I would be, first of all, have the confidence. Actually, having a child is a really difficult thing. Having the time out on a maternity leave actually gives you a whole different perspective. And I actually think I came back better in my job each time that I came back after my 4 maternity leaves. Not to feel.
When you say better, do you mean hungrier or sharper or what in particular?
All of those things. I think I was less naive. I think I could see the bigger picture. I could see what was important, where to fight the battles. All of those things. I just think it gave me a better perspective. Might have been I was older. I had a bit more maturity as well. All of those things. But also to think actually this is an amazing industry where you can live your dream and have things in different ways. So I've worked 4 days for the last. Nearly 15 years, because I couldn't make it work as a mum and a business person on 5 days working full time. I couldn't do it, but I can do it on 4 days. And we need to be, as an industry, more open, more adaptable to people, men and women, going, you know what, I love this work, but I also love this aspect of my life. Let's see if we can have a compromise and do both. Yeah.
Do you have Fridays off?
I do.
Let's move on to a quick fire round.
Okay, I thought they were quite quick fire already.
They're pretty good. We've got through a lot of questions compared to Dave and some other people. FWA or NMA?
Neither.
Fruit or veg?
Fruits, because it's sweeter and I like sweets.
Can Lion or D&AD pencil?
Neither.
Have you got either?
Not personally, because I'm not creative, but we don't enter awards here.
Okay. Cats or dogs?
Dogs every time.
Art directors or copywriters?
Both.
Apple or Android?
Apple, I love it.
Degree or no degree?
Doesn't matter, both.
Ant or deck?
Both, can't split them up. Look at me sitting on the fence, and I don't know which one's which. No, I do really.
Fine, I gathered that. Retained work or pitch work?
Obviously retained work.
Web or mobile?
Mobile.
Independent agencies or networked agencies?
You know the answer to that, independent, every time.
Outsourced production or on-site production?
On-site, definitely. New business models, new ways of adapting.
And lastly, twist or stick?
Always twist.
Thank you very much.